3, 2, 1.
Clap. Clap for me, mommy. Hey, what's going on? We're here. We're here. It's been a minute, man. It's been going a while.
Somebody rich and famous out here.
I don't know. I don't know who that is. Let me know. Let me find him. I mean, you know, you got Junior in the building, so you the rich one. I'm just trying to be great. You know what I mean? He over here speaking sign language. I don't think you said Junior. That's not it. No, it's all good. But we in here. You know what I mean? It's been an interesting week.
Yeah.
Week off, but it's like not a week off. It's like busy week
1,000%
for everybody. A lot of stuff going on. I don't even know where to start. Should I start on my side? Should I start on your side? You know, y'all had a live show.
Yeah, we did, man. We certainly did, my brother.
So, what was that like? What was the experience? You know, producing a live, packed out theater. I mean, I only caught clips. Obviously, I was busy with the Newark International Film Festival.
I know.
Hosting duties, but I mean, what was that process like?
It was dope. And
Wait, first off, tell everybody. I guess just anybody who doesn't know, like,
oh yeah, I forgot because I be quiet with my shit like it's a secret. But one of 9 members of the What You Thought podcast. Shout to the squad. Pop, Reg, Darnell, Alpha Memphis, Amar, Juwan, HR, Brad, aka DJ Physics, and the best barbecue sauce out of New York, Mr. Hands, aka Derek. It was
best barbecue sauce.
Best barbecue sauce. It's a running joke because his hands look like he make barbecue sauce, good barbecue sauce. So,
does he actually make barbecue sauce? No. Oh shit. Oh no, because I was gonna ask for samples.
You know what I'm saying?
You playing.
Do y'all have mesquite? Y'all ain't got no mesquite. So yeah, you know, all accolades aside or whatever, metrics aside, it was dope. You know, 300 seat capacity. I think we were somewhere between. I keep messing up the official number, but it was almost sold out.
Mm-hmm.
240 something, 230 something, 260 something. I can't really quite remember the number, but it was an experience to have to not be doing all of this.
Mm-hmm.
I still was running cams, you know, BTS, stuff like that, but I really was just manning the cam. Hands was really the one that's making sure the cameras is set the way they supposed to.
The barbecue sauce guy.
The barbecue sauce.
Okay, got
it. and it was a night, man. Mad people came out, showed love. You know, it's gratifying to see the hard work, the labor, the mishaps, and the trials and tribulations, you know, leading up to the moment, pay off in a good way, where we got to see and feel what people resonate with. You know, people in the audience, like, yo, you don't understand how me having mental health issues, some of the gentlemen in the audience, some women in the audience, were just very forthcoming. Like, yo, I've served in the military. My PTSD gets the best of me. Watching you guys, laughing with you guys have gotten me through a lot of dark nights. That is something that I don't think anybody is prepared to hear, let alone something that you did that gave comfort in a place that you didn't even know was happening. So it was pretty dope, man. It was pretty surreal, and I'm appreciative to everybody that pulled up. Appreciative to the team for bringing me on board when they did, and looking forward to the next live event, which we are definitely talking about and planning through. So it's fire. How about you, host with the most?
Host with the most.
Know what I mean? Newark International Film Festival official red carpet host. Like, what's, what I mean? Seeing the highlight reels, you was in your bag, brother.
I mean, it's been an experience,
Mm-hmm.
And, we was here the last time, and then did the impromptu audition video here instead of me doing it. The whole process from beginning to end. It's been like a 2-3 week journey. Like, I think that thing carried me basically through the whole month because started off trying to, some heavy hitters. I saw the audition thing, then thought, stop saying thing. I saw the audition. They put that out. And the first person who put up an audition video up, she's a heavy hitter. Shout out to Leah Robinson. So I was like, okay. She got like 100,000 followers. I was like, oh, well, see how this going to go. To being out doing my rideshare thing and going home to record a video, doing it 60 times. I'm just exaggerating. But doing that joint a whole bunch of times just for all of it to be blurry because my camera wouldn't focus. I'm like, all right. To then coming here, doing an impromptu one, doing it in 3 takes, putting it out there. Whew. Then actually having to DM people, and shout out to anybody who voted for me, by the way. Actually having to DM people like, yo, I'm in this contest, and putting yourself out there, because it's one thing for them to put it up on your page, but if you really wanted to get traction, you had to share it with people, show people what you got going on, and involve people comment, we want boom, to I had some real ones commenting on my joint. I had one of my homegirls was like, yo, what she say? She said, we want boom, or else I'm gonna write a bad review on you or anybody else.
Making threats.
Just making threats out here. I'm gonna write you a bad Yelp review. I was like, oh. I was like, yeah, I appreciate the love, but don't do that. Don't do that. We still want to support.
Please don't do that.
But just some real people hit me up like, yo, people telling me, yo, I think you winning. I think you gonna win. I'm like, yo, don't tell me nothing. Don't tell me nothing. Then that Saturday, I think it was like a Saturday. It was like a Saturday. People was hitting me up like, yo, I think you in the lead. Video gaining mad traction. Then they took the video down. I'm like, what? So then I'm like, I don't know what just happened. Then they reposted, like, because people, we talked about blue checks before. I know a couple people with some official blue checks. They started sharing it. I'm like, okay. Going through that. Then the video goes down, and then now you're looking fugazi. Like, what? Like you, like somebody, like you spamming people or something. Like, why is the video gone? To then having to explain to people that, yo, they just did something, I don't know. Had to put another video up. Woo. Then, you go through the week. Then I'm like, now I got to put this energy back out here to ask people. Because I thought the video, the original audition video was on cruise control. So I was like, all right, cool. Then I was like, now I got to reshare and redo all this and all that. And then it was like the last day to vote was like the 15th. And then that was like a Thursday or something like that. I think that was like a Thursday. So then we get there. Then the weekend comes. They're like, we about to do an announcement. I'm literally at Top's Diner getting something to eat. The dude who does the announcement, he's in Military Park. So I was like, all right, well, I was like, I'm about to pull up on him. And if I win, I'm running out the car and I'm running up on the live video. And I said, if I lose, I'm skeeting off like, and then you just gonna hear that in the background of the live video, and it's gonna be like, nobody has to know. Nobody has to know. They're gonna know. And so I'm sitting there eating my salad that I got from Top's Diner, watching the dude. I'm like, this is annoying. Like, just announce it already. He goes through all the whole spill. Shout out to Steve. And then he announced me. He's like, yeah, my friend Eric Boom Salvary. I'm like, oh. I run up on him, and everybody thought it was fake. And I was like, nah, I didn't know that wasn't going to be the case. It just so happened to my homegirl Rhonda sent me the live. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm right here. They're right there. And I know the dude. If I didn't know Steve, I wouldn't have ran up on him. I wouldn't even considered it. But I was like, that's my people. So I was like, all right, cool. So ran up on him. We did the live right there, kind of like, yo, thank you. Boom. Then he said something during the live. He's like, yo, you got to go to the outfit. And I'm like, damn. I got to go get a fit. Go get a fit. I'm running around trying to pick an outfit for the whole thing. And going to all these stores, couple stores on downtown Newark, couple places at the mall. Like, all right, got to get a fit. Got to do. So this whole process, just before the whole thing started, was like a process, right? Long story short. And then they got to get the actual thing done, the actual hosting duties done. And so I would say that never hosted anything beyond this podcast. So, you know, you learn some new things, you know, because this podcast is a controlled environment, you know. Yeah. As long as we here, the lights, camera, action, everything works, we good. When you out there, you know, you got to be prepared for something to go wrong, something that ain't working in your favor, you know, shaking hands, kissing babies, and still trying to be focused, all that good stuff. So it was definitely a dope, immersive experience. It was different because I'm used to being behind the camera. So then you go from being behind the camera to being in front of the camera, and you're the lead in a lot of stuff. So, you know, you looking through a program sheet and your name is everywhere. Well, he's here. He's supposed to be over there hosting this, or he's supposed to be this red carpet, or you're supposed to be at that workshop. And I'm like, dang, I want to go to the workshop, but I'm supposed to be over here at the red carpet. Yeah. And then, you know, people, you know, shout out to some of the people I met. Sounded like something was about to fall. Like, I'm like, oh, something about to tip over. But shout out to all the other red carpet hosts. Because the good thing about it is that even if I would have any red carpet host, that actually did the thing right and they gained some votes, they still allowed them to do some stuff with the film festival. So it wasn't like all the duties was up to me for certain things. It's like we shared the responsibilities. It was pretty cool. I guess a funny story from that the whole thing is that I am officially typecast.
What do you mean by that?
So, pull up to the PAC, New Jersey Performing Arts Center, for those who don't know. And, you know, got to get changed. Like I said, got the fit, all that good stuff. And I go in the bathroom, right? And so then I'm changing real quick. And before I still had my jacket on, so it was like I had all black on underneath. So then this guy walks in the bathroom, you know, I'm like, all right, my bad, excuse me, whatever, doing what I got to do. And then he at some point during the exchange of words, he taps me on the shoulder. He's like, man, great, glad you're here. You know, you're a pretty big guy. You know, I feel safe. What do you mean? I'm like, well, you know, you feel safe. He's like, you're doing security, right? And I was like, oh, nah. and he said, yeah, you're joking. And he taps me on the shoulder. He's like, nah, nah. You know, you're security. And I was like, huh? And so in the confusion of in my mind that was going through my mind was like, I was like, why does he automatically assume that I'm security, right? Yeah. The other part that went through my mind, or the other thing that went through my mind is, did this man wash his hands before he tapped me on the shoulder?
That's a very valid. Did you just wipe doodle juice
on my shoulder? I don't know. I think he took it number one, but still, it's still like. I was like, did this brother wash his hands? Because I'm trying to get in and out and do what I got to do. I'm not paying attention to what you doing, and I was like, all right. And then so we get outside, and he's like, man, this guy was a different hue, so I was like. So he's like, man, they let, he's like, we're outside on the red carpet. And he's like, yeah, man, they let security get dressed up this year. And I'm like, oh, this guy really, I think he doesn't get it. I'm not security.
I'm not top flight.
I'm not top flight. So it's quite interesting. And then there was a panel with Tracy Moore, and I can't remember the other brother's name, but you know him. He played the Terminator, Justice League. He's been in all this stuff. And
Michael John White?
No, not Michael John White. About to find out right now. Right now. Said Michael John White. Terminator? Michael John White ain't been in no Terminator. Joe Morton. Joe Morton, you've seen him in. He's been in the game for a minute. So Tracy Moore, she played in New Jersey Drive. You know her. If I showed you a picture of her, you'd be like, yo, I know exactly who that is. But she teaches acting or whatever. So they doing a workshop inside the Newark Museum Auditorium, and she's wrapping up. And so I came a little late. And I'm standing at the bottom. Have you ever been inside the Newark Museum Auditorium? Mm-hmm. You know how they have those pillars on this off to the side? So I'm standing there. I was recording something at first, and then she started to wrap up, so I had to put my phone down. And she's looking out, and she's like, yeah, guys, it's been a wonderful time. I just want to thank you, thank Joe, check us out on the Black Box. And she looks over and she said, I think it's our time. She's like, because security's here. Oh. And I'm looking like,
I'm not security.
I'm just looking around like, who's she talking to? I'm like, she was like, oh. She was like, I was like, oh, you talking to me? And then the guy who runs it, Ken Gifford, he was like, yeah, he's not security. He's actually one of the hosts. He's actually our red carpet host. So it was definitely cool. But then I went up to her. We talked. We did a little live thing on IG and all that stuff. And then I think the most, I guess, nerve wracking, because I think the red carpet is pretty easy. If you just good with questions, like you take what the people give you and you kind of create questions off that. But the interesting thing about it is when they do the award ceremony, and now I'm in that space where kind of like where y'all were on Sunday, where now you got an auditorium full of like at least 150, 200 people, and you got to go announce an award. And you look up and they don't, we had to go through the program the same day. So I'm sitting there trying to remember everything I got to say. And I'm looking out and you see all this judgment, like, oh, okay. And just trying to remember everything that you're supposed to say in that moment. That was nerve wracking. But it wasn't like, okay, it was like something like, oh, all right, I experienced this. So now I could get better from it. But it was still like, whew, all right, that's an experience. And I would say that the first time I went out, it was like, all right. Then after the second time, because I announced like 3 different awards, and then I did a intro. So the first time I went out was like, I don't even remember what I said. That's how I just went out there and said whatever rolled off my tongue, and I was like, all right, cool.
Sheets and pillows.
There we go.
Bed Bath and Beyond. Peace.
Bed Bath and Beyond. 50% off. 50% closing store stuff. And the second and the third time, I was like, all right, I'm better. I'm warmed up. The cool thing, I guess, if you followed me on IG, was that there was a movie called feature film called Fells High, that Omari Hardwick starred in, amongst other people, and he won the award, but obviously he wasn't there, so I was able to accept the award for him. So that was pretty cool. But the overall experience was cool. I networked with a lot of dope people. Met so many people to just build with and create an experience. And I'm be honest with you, that thing went by. I was like, dang, it's Monday. Yeah. That's why I text you on Tuesday, like, all right, yeah, I think we got to be in the studio this week. Cause I'm like, yo, it went so fast, bro. It was like, it's like, but you're there for long periods of time. Your day goes by, you look up, it's 10 o'clock. You're like, then you at somebody's after party, then you're like, all right, I still got to go do my ride share thing. I still got to do this, still got to do that, take care of business. Man, it was an experience.
Fully recovered or still recovering?
Still recovering.
Same, my brother.
It's
morning,
like
I did not have it. I was like, I just want to lay in the bed and chill. I done probably went to bed 3, 4, and been waking up 7, 6, like the last 4 or 5 days straight. Has not been fun.
No.
It's not been fun. I'm grateful for why, but just getting back to it, getting my energy back, like it's been interesting, my G, for real.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like, because you're outside of the normal. Well, the thing is, like, you get a taste of what life could be if all things being equal, the money's flowing, and you're able to just do this on a full-time scale, where you're either, you're moving to different award shows, or you're putting together live audience stuff like that. And then it's like, I don't know if it was you, I don't know if this happened to you, but it'd be like, damn, I don't want to go back.
Word is born. Word is born. Somebody said to me today, it sounds like you on your way up out of here. And I was like, I don't know if I'm on my way up out of here, like in this very immediate moment. However, this experience definitely was like, yeah, I could do this. Like, I could do this. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Nah, it was just like, okay. And I was just like, when you're in your element, and you know when you're not. It's been times where you be like, I don't feel like I fit here or there, and then you're in these spaces, and you're like, yeah, I could get used to this. Yeah. The camera went out, I think.
Oh shit! To that one, there we
go. And it's just a level of, I guess, what you want to call it. I don't know if this is not like a emasculated word, but it's a level of pageantry that comes with like winning something or being the man of the show. And it's like, yeah, I could get used to that. I could get used to walking in places and people like addressing you like, oh yeah, boom. So listen, glad you're here early, 2 hours early. Yo, go ahead, get dressed. We're gonna have a camera guy on you, and everywhere you go on the red carpet, this is where you need to be. Or just rolling up and be like, oh, you're the guy who won. Or just certain things, and you're just like, man, people just look at you different. Like okay, like despite the typecast and stuff that happen, you be like, people just looking at you different with a certain level of confidence, and it's like, man. I'm like, who wants to go back? Who wants to go back to just like everyday, like, mundaneness? So I can see where people can get, I don't want to say addicted to the light, but like, nah, I need more of that. I need to be in those spaces. Yeah. But there's that also that thought, like, how do I add to that space what can I add to that space that's gonna keep me here? Um, because it's only for a time, doesn't mean it has to be a short time. It could be a long time, whatever it is. It's only for a time. So that's the thing from a creative standpoint. Like, okay, it's more than just it's more than a shot in the arm. It's something else where you're like, nah, I need to be in these spaces, and I think it's also a level of it also shows off a level of polish, I guess, or a level of, okay, I've been here before, where maybe like 5 years ago I would have been not afraid to talk to people, but I wouldn't have had the confidence to just have the conversations level of conversations that I was having with people, or just be like, okay, I think maybe like one time when I was doing some interviewing somebody on the red carpet, and it was only because I didn't have enough information about them that I was kind of like going off the hip. So I was shooting a little wide with my questions, and then I got a couple wrong. And then his wife was looking at me like, that ain't it? Like, oh yeah, what's it like being from, somebody from Newark, homegrown talent? And his wife looking at me like, this Negro is not from Newark.
He's from Poughkeepsie.
He's from Queens. And she's looking at me like, yeah, get it right. We don't play that around here. We give credit where credit is due. And I'm like, But I mean, 10 years ago, that would have been every other interview, that I was given. So it was kind of like, it was cool that, just to be in those spaces and really meet the next level of creators, or a new level of creators. Because a lot of the movies and stuff like that, as far as cinematography was concerned, and all that, everything was up to par. I ain't seen stuff shabby. There's a couple storylines here or there that I was like, I don't know about if I follow, and that's just me from a linear, the way I think and order certain things. But I mean, you can't complain about the quality of product that you saw on screen. You can't complain about the length or whatever. And, some of these people, directors, you'll see, the beautiful thing is I made connections. So you're going to see a lot of these people on this show, you know what I mean, on the House of Boom podcast. It ain't just me talking and giving you all of, I done met people, other red carpet hosts that I want to bring on, that are down, met directors that are down. And these are people that are going to expand the brand of House of Boom podcast, or B2B, however we were doing. I'm even thinking of a new segment called Boom and Friends, where, just people that maybe weren't necessarily directors or thing, but they were good conversations. And I was like, nah, I could have them on the podcast, and we could just in here have a kickback conversation with people, when it just be another segment of whatever we doing. And just being able to connect and build. So it wasn't just like I was there just to have the experience. It was to enlarge the footprint of what we're doing here, so that we can be, like I said, like you might get a phone call from somebody, because somebody I know who she did a very, very important documentary, hip hop documentary that's up your alley. She was like, "Oh, I need a camera. Don't you do camera?" And I happened to film her, not being really a camera guy, but film her interviewing Charlemagne years ago. And then she remembered me, and then she's like, do you still do that? And I'm like, nah, but I referred her to you. So then those become other ways to expand the brand and build up more. So it was definitely a takeover move. It wasn't just about being at the red carpet, all that other stuff. And the other good thing is I realized, where, no disrespect to anybody at Newark IFF, but I saw places of lack where next year, if I do not decide to enter the competition again, where I can say I can come in and help y'all curate the experience to make it even more dope and make it easier for everybody, all the other red carpet hosts, because in some ways I became like a point man for certain things. And I was like, okay, cool, and I'm gonna just roll with it. I'm not gonna complain about it. And they're growing. But I will say, in 10 years, it'll probably be one of the hottest film festivals to go to. Period.
1,000%. It was fire when we submitted our stuff in 2018. It was fire back then. So I can only imagine as time progressed, as more eyes start to peer into the talent that Newark and Newark at large, because it's not just people aren't necessarily just from the city of Newark.
Right.
It is, and I heard you say it in one at the award ceremony, I believe.
Yep.
It was like it is the Newark International Film Festival. So it's not just local creatives; it's creatives from all over the world that's converging on the largest city in New Jersey. So as Lionsgate comes online, as the creative space down the block comes online, like a bunch of this stuff that's happening in the area that's galvanizing around the creatives, around the stories that these creatives have to tell. I think I could see it being like how like a Met Gala became a Met Gala. I'm pretty sure the first one wasn't, oh my God, what it is now.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing is usually that. It's always as it grows and acquiescing to whatever it does. It's like, man, this is fire. Like having your film in a movie theater playing on a big screen as a local creative,
Mm-hmm.
as a up and coming creative, that gotta be one of them feelings, dog.
I'll say that. There was one young man who I interviewed on the red carpet, and he had some dope inspirations from something that you and I can relate to. And then his movie was called Outcast. I'm definitely have him up here. And he got his inspiration from The Last Dragon. And he won for the youth film award. And he didn't know he won. He just it wasn't like they went out and told the people like beforehand, like you're the winner, so on and so forth. It was very much so, you announce it and you're the winner. And so the level of exuberance on his face when he realized he won was very authentic, and I think it meant more to me in that moment, being the person who interviewed him when he first talked about it on the red carpet, to being the one who announced his award, and just seeing, like, you don't know what that first award will do for him as a young man and where he's going to go from there, and be able to build and expand as a creative. Like you said, he's the next level of what is coming. And then, like I said, then you have some more seasoned directors who are now out making movies, and they're making sequels and prequels and things of that nature. And I'm like, all right. And then, of course, I'm going to be in a couple of movies. Put me in there. Put me in there. Then I could be security. Just pay me for it. Anyways, yeah, the being able to put that on the big screen and being able, and like I said, the opening night gala, like, what I mean, like you said, the Met Gala, and just seeing how that hit, like, I can see that maybe next year, people turning up on the fashion tip, like, yo, we about to really make this thing happen. Because I know in 2019 we definitely had some definitely some fashionable looks and stuff like that, but I can see that turning up. Like, I think this year I kind of put my foot into it a little bit more, and it's like, all right, well, this is how I'm coming, and I chose what was the look I chose was the most ready made to go look for me, where I didn't have to get nothing altered or anything like that. However, the look I wanted to go with would have put that on Smash. I was like, I don't want to get my joint tailored. Then the dude talk about, oh, it's gonna be ready at 5, and then it's 7:45, and it ain't done yet.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I ain't go with this other look that my sister was like, yeah, I want that one. I was like, yeah. I was like, we'll wait, but there's always next year. So what are you looking forward? What are the 1 or 2 things that you are looking forward to in the next live show?
Different location. There's certain, like, our post-mortem wasn't it wasn't what we were doing wrong versus what we could do to enhance the experience.
Word.
And I'm looking forward to that. Like, I'm looking forward to meeting more people that rock with the show. Like, to your point, what's the most interesting is walking into a room where people know me and I don't know them. Where you walking past people and they're like, oh shit, it's like, I've never felt that before. And it wasn't even like I heard it and I'm like, ah ha ha. Cause it's been happening, no bullshit.
Right.
We were at Whole Foods and a young kid behind the counter was like, hey, Baa-ith. I'm like, yo, who that? He's like, nah. He's like, yo, I watch the pod, man. I watch y'all every week. He's like, y'all get me through work every night. I'm at work. I need something funny. He was like, y'all get me through. So,
wow.
It's pretty dope to like I said, walk in the room and people know me that I don't know, but they have a personal connection with me that is me. It's not like they connected to me on some bullshit. They connected to me on some, this is who I really am. And it was kind of dope. It's also dope because none of us are on some Hollywood shit where people like, yo, man, taking pictures with us, having the conversation, like, yo, it's dope that y'all mad down to earth. Like, y'all actually kicking it with the people. It's like, nobody not Hollywood. We're here because y'all watch us. We're not here because we just so great and so holy and so above whoever. It's
right.
Nah, we are human just like everybody else. We just happen to have a platform and a consistency to make that platform grow into something. So it's been a beautiful thing. And I just want to see more of it. I want to be able to, touch down in whatever town, LA, Texas, Florida, Atlanta, like wherever, and show that same love, give that same energy, and let people know that it may seem Hollywood on camera, but people who are famous are just a bunch of people know them, and that's the difference, So I'm looking forward to that.
I know it will be a dope, I don't know, thing to do. Be like, I'm in this like red carpet hosting thing. Like, next time y'all do one, if we could get like a couch or something over there, set up this on like some lobby type joint, and just catch people coming in, and I could just be House of Boom on the side, just catching people, having regular conversations to add to the conversation of what y'all doing. So I'm getting the people as they coming in, like, or if they wait, I don't know if it was a wait or if it's just come in and just go sit down type joint, but that would be dope. Like, to have some lights, camera, action, promote my podcast while promoting y'all stuff, asking people about what they're looking forward to the experience, or who their favorite, who their favorite person on the panel is, or who makes them laugh the most, whatever.
Yeah.
But getting back to that point where you were saying, what'd you say? You said that people walking up to you and you not knowing who you are and you not knowing that is something. You be like usually if you do that on the street, like, oh,
I owe you money.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I always say that. Somebody be like, yo, you look like, nah, it wasn't me.
Nah, fam.
It wasn't me. Or I hope I hope whoever that person you think I am gave you a good experience, or that version of me you caught gave you a good experience. But it was cool because then all the other red carpet hosts, you know, I only knew of one or two, but one was because she entered first and I saw her join, and then but we done acting classes before, so I knew her, and then I knew of one other, but because I think we did like a couple red carpets before, just didn't realize we were in the same space at the same time. But it was like some of the other hosts. I joke with my new buddy. I think she's gonna be on the podcast. I kept calling her Candace all week. Her name was Shanice, and Shanice, she came up to me while I was inside the gala and inside the pack, and she's like, "Hey, good job." And then she got by my ear and she said, "Next year I'm gonna get your ass."
Friendly competition.
And then she backed out, break a leg.
Both of them.
So she ain't really say that, but that was her. That's what her energy said. So she gonna be on the pod, and then just meet the other hosts and stuff like that. I definitely want to have them on if I can get them together, or maybe two at a time. Like that'd be fun because there are definitely some interesting characters. Everybody brought something different to the red carpet experience. So, and like I said, like the production team, that those guys are real cool. Everything. Sometimes you got to work on the fly, and just meeting people and people like, yo, I rock with Boom because he just like, we gonna make this happen some way, one way or another. And so big shout out to the production team. Y'all really, did what y'all thing, and y'all made it happen in whichever way y'all could do. Shout out to the panels, the acting coaches, the different people that I met. Shout out to all the stuntmen that I met. Those guys are cool. I knew one, Marcus, he was here. He'd been on the show already, but meet some of the other stunt actors. And then the biggest shout out, again, is to anybody who voted for me, because I definitely was in y'all DMs like, yo, trying to explain this whole thing. And just people, with the comments like, we want Boom, or there's no other choice. Is there another choice but Boom? Shout out to my one home girl when they reposted the video. Like she was like, we already said. She's like, why am I seeing this again? She said, we already voted. We want Boom. Like, yo. So
how many times I got to do this?
How many times I got to do this? Like, and people. Shout out to some of the people though, volunteers. Like I remember one lady. This was a special moment. I was walking in the pack, like I said before, I got typecast by the dude in the bathroom, and this one lady, she was a volunteer. She was involved in pretty much the whole week, but she was like one of those first real people to greet me, and she pulls me over to the side. She said, I don't know what it is. She said, but you were the right guy for the job. She's like, you were the first person I looked at, and you just had that. Like that energy that we wanted. Like, and when I saw your interview, I said, that's the guy I want to host the thing. Older woman, I forget her name, but that was the one that humbled me and gave me that moment. Like, all right, this is your time right now. However this is gonna look is however it's gonna look, but it's your time. However you gonna make this look doesn't matter. And I think that it's that older black woman mother's confidence that you just need before the game. Yeah. Because that's what it felt like. It felt like a football game. Me getting ready for a football game. Friday Night Lights. You're getting up there. You're walking up to the Prudential Center. I mean, not the Prudential. The NJ Pack is an official red carpet out there. The lights are the sun is about to go down, and you're like, all right. And you look and you say, this is really happening. It is like a football game. I have not felt that first night, that opening night gala. I have not felt like that since a football game in high school, where it's just like, all right, it's all on you. This all us, not it ain't saying on nobody else. You know, I even text you, yo, could you come up? Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
And you couldn't make it, whatever. But it was like that would have made it comfortable. And the truth is, I had to be in a space of uncomfortability to be great in whatever moment I could be great in. If you would have came up there, it would have been like, all right, ABC, XYZ. And that's cool. That's nice to know where your people are and so on and so forth. But to be in a space where I'm uncomfortable with things aren't necessarily, I'm not in control of things, so I don't know what's going to go what way. And then for somebody to randomly come and just give you that vote of confidence, it means everything.
That's a fact.
So shout out to her. Shout out again to the red carpet team. You know, nobody really had no whatever. We was just, everybody was out there to just get whatever they needed to get done and advance themselves. And shout out to my homegirl Rhonda. She really held it down. She really tightened some things up. Rhonda Hobbs, she really tightened some things up towards the end of the week to help, you know, make sure that we ended strong. Not to say we didn't start strong, but she really just is like, all right, this is how we're going to do. We're going to go in this direction. Shout out to my boy, Steve Strickland. I hit him up earlier, but I told him, like, yo, it's a couple moments where you had to coach me up. Yo, do this way or do that way. And you helped out. And then, obviously, shout out to Ken Gifford, you know what I mean? You know, the leader of the Newark International Film Festival and all that stuff he puts together and all the efforts he does to make everything work. So I would say that's my shout-out list.
That's fire. I ain't got nothing else in the hopper, man. I'm excited to see, what comes out of both of these experiences. There's a lot of network talk being thrown around, and inadvertently,
when you say network talk, we're not talking about networking. You're talking about somebody actually picking the what you thought up as some.
No, not expressly that. There is that in there. But as far as like how many shows we're actually producing on a weekly basis, the number is getting up there, you know? Mm-hmm. So the fact that we do have quite a diverse group of content, I'm really looking forward to seeing what really comes out of all of this stuff. Remodeling here, bringing in new clients, just building the footprint here so that we really have something special in this area. Like, I don't think anybody else is doing that in particular. Like, there's people doing shows, there's tons of people with podcasts, there's tons of people that create content, but to have the fortunate, to be fortunate enough to have what we have under the umbrella that we have is it's pretty amazing. And
I'm in the show of someplace and 300 people show up. That's you can't beat that with a wooden spoon.
That's a fact.
Anywhere, you know.
Can't beat it with a bat though.
So yeah.
I gotta get this boy some grub, man.
What's up? Smarter than your average what? Oh, okay. That's the only line I'm giving you. Smarter than your average genius. You want to get on the camera real quick since you look. You ready now? Just show off your shirt. Come on this side so people can see the. There you go.
Oh, snap! Took the jacket off.
Modeling and all this and that. Oh, look up. There you go. This your time, player. 5 minutes ago couldn't get you in. Now you don't know what camera to be on. Now you would right here.
Right there.
They're right there. This one.
Just stand next to him.
This one.
Over there. Stand next to him.
Back up, back up, back up, back up. This way, this way, this way. Don't trip over me. Right there. There you go. What that say?
Boom. Smarter than your average genius.
There you go, Mr. Mike.
What up?
Well, I think we're going to end on that. What up? What up? And goodbye. Smarter than your average genius is in the building. LLC. Cash App. Venmo. PayPal. All that good stuff. It's been another B2B. Get it all out episode.
And before we dip, I definitely want to give you your flowers, my brother, for real. Like
Lyrical Lotuses. There we go.
I know you said no lotuses.
Lyrical Lotuses.
Lyrical Lotuses. It's to see that, like the impromptu audition, and then when you got it, I was like, yo, it is definitely your element, my brother, and you shine. For real. Every clip I saw, the peoples who I had on the ground, who I'm like, oh yeah, that's they like, oh snap, nah, he mad funny. He mad cool. So it's a vibe, man. And I'm proud of you, my brother, for real.
You know, while we here, we went from this. Hold on. I'll find that joint. Started from the bottom, now we here. Let me see. We always playing something on the camera, right?
Yeah.
So we went from that to
My boy, comfortable, poised and shit.
if you only knew the other half.
That's fire. Let's go.
It ain't over. So we went from that to that. Impromptu to two levels? What do they say? 2 levels away?
Yeah.
2 levels away from shaking hands with Ghost. So
Feel me?
So
Where Taj at?
we up. Everything is up. This is the House of Boom podcast subsection with happy to be another day above ground. I think I said that right. Happy another day above ground. B2B. We are out. Peace.
Peace. Cue the music.
Cue the music.